way too high.
Yeah,
I know. I
Chad.
turned it down. It wouldn't light.
Looking at me because I'm the one that does that.
Because you turn every single one we've ever had all the way up.
You know, you say that, but that's not reality.
You know, I'm going to reject yours.
I
substitute my
reject
own.
your reality and substitute my own.
Hi there. My name is Dakota. This is Fifth Avenue Cigars Live, or what do we call it now?
We're calling it 7 on 7.
7 on 7?
Yeah.
Was that some weird orgy?
No.
Okay. This is our monthly live stream where we answer your burning cigar questions.
Really
and-
light.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh, the Punisher?
You ran the wing.
You gave him a Punisher?
He gave himself one.
Why would you have a Punisher?
I've never had it before.
They're punishing. Really light, Chad.
That I did like that.
Sorry. I shouldn't have interjected. Let's continue on.
I did not even realize we were going until you said your little opening there.
Yeah, so
Hello, everybody.
hello, Internet. This is our monthly live stream, and this week, this month, we're joined by our friend Grant. If you want to introduce yourself, Grant, and who and what you are.
I'm Grant. I'm a local Anchorage resident. I've known these gentlemen for
About a year.
about a year now, give
Yeah.
or take. This is my first time participating in the show. I got asked last night at about 7 o'clock what I was doing, and here I am. So
we're on
happy to be
top.
here.
We're on top of things.
Yeah.
I was more directed to be here. It wasn't so much asked if I was available.
It's like, hey, can you be here at 6:15 sharp? Sure. All right. By the way, it's a live stream. Enjoy.
Well, that was an accidental retro.
So,
Alrighty.
Anyway.
Sorry. My bad.
should we go around the table and talk about what we're smoking?
Yeah. I started off with an accidental retro hail with the Gurkha Year of the Dragon. It's a AJ Fernandez collaboration. Last month I smoked the Year of the Dragon by Rocky Patel. So we sold all the ones from that box, and I went to go ahead and buy another. And as I searched Year of the Dragon from our distributor, Gurkha has one also. So green box, green labeling. A little bit on the spice on the front end there. Did not realize what I was getting into with this one either. So we'll see what it tastes like here in a few. Grant?
I am smoking the exact same thing based on the recommendation that you just heard. It's my very first time smoking this particular one. I have had Gurkhas before. It was when I started out smoking cigars. That was the first one I had. And can never go wrong with a Gurkha, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, like we've had them for, well, we've gone back and forth with them, having them in stock and whatnot for the past few years. And, that was some of the first cigars we were reviewing on here, I think. So,
Was it really?
yeah, we had a few of them.
I know the Ghost was one of the later ones, but we did like the Prize Fighter, the Sherpa.
Yeah,
other
we've done
ones.
quite a few Gurkhas over the years. Yeah.
And then,
So I'm having a Q Havana. It's called a Punisher.
For a reason.
So I just went and looked in my stash, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. I grabbed that.
I
And
know
then-
who you got that from.
And then Dakota said, oh, shit, can somebody make a run to the store real quick? I said, oh, okay, I'll do it. I said, Chad, can you do me a favor? Can you look up the marketing wank on this? I don't have time, and let me know. And I come back, and he goes, oh, it's really, really mild. Oh, okay. All right, cool. So we have a subscription to the Hot Ones hot sauces. For years, we've had this, right? So I've had probably 6 of the lineups, from 1 to 10. And this is a solid 7 on the Hot Ones hot sauce scale. Like, my lips are burning.
yeah, it said lips will burn.
This is monstrous.
Now, I didn't actually think they were serious about the lips will burn.
My lips are burning.
What the?
My
But this-
lips are burning.
Is it enjoyable?
No. Well, I mean, I like hot sauce, but I don't generally smoke it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like just smoking a chicken wing.
Sounds like it'd be spicy, but
Never getting that
goddamn,
thought out of my mind
Whew.
now.
I would never have thought spicy like that.
Literally lips burning.
Wow.
Okay. Punisher.
Is it punishing?
It is. I don't know why they call it that.
Some people like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having CAO's Arcana Series Firewalker, and I know nothing about it except that we just got them in. I've never had one. I like CAO. I've never seen a cigar like this from CAO, so I was like, I'm going to try it. And so far, it's not anything I've ever had from them before.
Usually they're real robust.
It's robust.
Earthy.
It's like if you took a Kentucky Fire Cured and like muted it down a little bit and then combined it with like their BX3.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost like those Brazilian kind of nutty, sweet, really rich tones combined with like mesquite and hickory. It's very interesting. I've never had a cigar like this.
Sounds actually quite tasty.
It's
Yeah, it does.
different. It's quite.
Mix the two together, and you got something special right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we don't
You
want
want a
them to-
chicken wing?
No, I don't.
Alright.
I was like, if we make them touch, we're gonna explode. We don't want to cross the streams. Oh man.
Alrighty. So Grant, you've been a friend of ours for a year. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I retired Army in Army National Guard. I did 21 years. Been back in Alaska for 5 now. I lived here previously prior to 2012 for 10 years, I guess, almost 10 years to the month. Been back in Alaska now since October 2019. Work in Girdwood, live here in Anchorage, and on my off time, I like to come down and enjoy a cigar and some camaraderie.
Nice.
That's a really cool commute.
The opposite direction.
Well,
Opposite
and also,
direction both days.
Yeah.
well, yeah, the opposite direction is the added bonus, but I mean, it's just a beautiful drive, just
Oh,
in
yeah.
general. You know what I mean?
Cup of coffee and a radio, and look out the window, and the
Yeah.
scene changes daily.
I mean, I had to commute out to our valley store twice a week, and it's like, I mean, say what you want about driving out to the valley, it's still a beautiful commute. You know what I mean? And still, like, I mean, I used to commute in Phoenix. That ain't nothing.
No.
Driving by Circle K, gun shop, Circle K, gun shop, like
Liquor store, gun shop.
gun shop, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that would make that one any better is if the water was just a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was out that way this last yesterday, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
plenty of stuff to see. I mean, it's some days it's belugas out in the water, other days it's the sheep up on the mountainside,
Yeah.
eagles, bears.
I was gonna say,
bears
yeah,
in the last couple days.
yeah, no shit.
113 mile, just hanging out.
I remember
Going surfing.
I remember
People
driving.
surfing.
I remember driving out there one time when the tide was out and just the mud flats, you know, and it had to be 13 bald eagles just out there prancing around. And I just happened to have my mother-in-law in the car too. She's like, "Holy
Probably going
shit."
for hooligan when the hooligan are in. The eagles are always right down there at
Yeah.
the side of the road.
There we go. Fix it.
Sorry about that. We had to clarify what we could and couldn't talk about real quick.
Hey there, RC. How's it going, man?
Hey, RC man, good to see
he's
you. How you
checking
doing,
in from
sir?
Vegas. Yeah, he was posting up
What?
pics. He's got some sort of like suite near the top floor with a wraparound balcony all the way around the side of the hotel.
What are you doing in Vegas, man? Just fun?
He's
Whatever he's
a
doing in
big time
Vegas, I'm
IT
going with him.
professional. He's at a conference and he's the
Oh.
speaker.
Okay.
Uh,
Wow.
Yeah, whatever he's doing down there, it doesn't matter. I'm going with him next time.
Yeah, I want to stay in that kind of place where you just stand up, you can see the entire strip and just walk around and see the other side, and then walk around and see the other
Yeah.
side.
Just to even see that kind of view.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I was like, that's a humble brag.
Ooh, Cosmo Suite.
Oh, Cosmo Suite.
Nice.
What hotel?
Yeah.
Oh, wife's B-Day weekend.
No, nice. Cool. All right.
The Cosmo's the hotel, isn't it?
Is it? Okay.
Oh, is it?
Oh, okay.
The Cosmo is the hotel? I
Am
don't
I
know.
wrong about
I
that?
thought that was the suite he was in. That was the Cosmos suite.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
not familiar with it.
yeah.
so.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Either way.
How familiar are you with
Oh.
Vegas?
Well, I know New York, New York.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, the
Cosmopolitan.
Cosmopolitan. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah.
But yeah, oh shit, I don't even know where that thought just went. But Grant, yeah, your adventures.
I was down in California for the end of, well, most of June, and then about the first week of July. I was down out of Susanville on the Plumas National Forest, and there was a big event that occurs there, not there, but occurs in the National Forest every year. It's called the National Rainbow Family of Living Light. They have an annual gathering. It's been going on for about 52 years. It's a kind of a counterculture type event. Originally started in 72.
52 years. Damn.
A bunch of folks got together to kind of pray for world peace during almost the tail end of the Vietnam War. It occurs every year. It's actually an illegally occurring event on the National Forest because it's not permitted.
Oh, yeah.
The organization or the family, as like to be called, is does not get a permit for it. I don't believe they've ever had one. Don't hold me to that.
52 illegal events.
It sounds like they're trying to cause a scene, is what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
But
on the annual too. That's
Yeah, I know. Like, here's what we're gonna be. Here's what we're gonna be breaking the law.
it switches every year to a different national forest.
Oh,
It's always held on the national forest system in the United States. They've never had it in Alaska, and they've never had it on the national forest in Puerto Rico. But any state that does have a national forest in it, it has occurred at some point in the event's history.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It can draw up
Is it?
to, at its height, I believe it was 15,000 folks.
Holy
but
shit.
this year in California, it was only about 3,000, give or take.
Damn, that's a lot of folks for.
Pretty controversial event that occurs, but you know, do your own reading and look online. And there's a great Vice. I don't know if I can plug Vice on here.
Plug anything you want.
We don't care.
We're never gonna get.
They stopped existing.
Yeah, we're never gonna get monetized
Vice.
anyway. It doesn't matter.
They went
Yeah.
bankrupt.
Yeah, Vice filed for
Oh, wow.
bankruptcy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All their stuff, I think,
So
will
they'll talk
stay
shit about it.
online, but they're going to auction off all their IP.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got a pretty good documentary they just did in the last year or two on it, on the event itself, and it's pretty good, well-rounded, well-researched.
What's it called again?
It's the National Rainbow Family of Living Light, and it's called the Rainbow Gathering every year.
Okay, I'm sure I can just Google
Or
Rainbow Gathering.
Rainbow Gathering.
Yeah, I'm sure I can
It's
figure
called
out
every
that.
year.
It's my understanding you were able to get some memorabilia that you want to preserve.
So yeah, generally speaking, I mean, the event is not always cleaned up to a state it was before the event was held.
They don't subscribe to the
Signs.
leave no trace.
They preach that, and they do clean up.
Oh,
I
okay.
will not say that they do an immaculate job. Or
They make an
I
effort.
will say they won't do an immaculate job. But yeah, so there's always signs and stuff that get left behind. And I picked one up off the ground and took it as my souvenir for the Rainbow Gathering 2024.
Interesting.
And
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
The name rings a slight bell for me, but it might be because I saw something along the lines of the little documentary.
I would say, especially going on 52 years, you think it'd be more like in the zeitgeist or
A lot of people haven't heard of it, unlike Burning Man. You know, everyone's
Yeah,
heard of Burning
everybody's
Man,
heard of Burning Man.
50,000 people every year.
yeah.
Well publicized event, but
The Burning Man, I hear mostly like, God damn, tickets are expensive this year.
the Rainbow Gathering is a free event. No money. It takes place. It's all kind of volunteer
Yeah.
trading, stuff like that, bartering system.
Cool.
Isn't Burning Man bartering once you get in, or used to be?
There's no
Okay.
cash.
Yeah.
It's all trade. Yeah.
You've been to Burning Man?
No, Bobby
Oh,
has
okay.
plenty of time.
Oh, your brother has.
And,
Okay.
that's what I hear mostly is every year. Damn, tickets are expensive.
What do we got from RC here?
RC is saying
Happy
the
Van
fellas-
Winkles and Fat Bottom Betty's on the balcony.
Oh, Pappies and some fat bottom Betties on the balcony. Nice.
smoking on the balcony last night.
Subtle flex.
Yeah. Well, it was probably 112 degrees though.
Yeah.
I think
While the sun is down.
I did.
Yeah, exactly. That's when I lived in Phoenix. It'd be 118 during the day, and then the sun would go down and it'd go all the way down to 101. And 2 a.m. at 101 degrees at 2 a.m. is a weird feeling, especially coming from the Midwest where it's like sun goes down, it gets cool. You know what I mean? Then you get Phoenix, it's like 101 degrees at 2 a.m. It feels unnatural.
We got Chip chiming in.
Oh,
Hey,
sweet.
Chip.
You got Chip. Hello, all. I can't stay on. Just wanted to say hi. Hope you
Ah,
all are well.
Thanks for stopping in, Chip. We appreciate it.
Hello, Chip.
And RC was saying
105.
105.
Yeah,
You
no,
mentioned
thank you.
well, you were staying in Reno when you were down there, right?
Yeah, so I started out in Redding, and that was 110 degrees, I think. It might have gotten up to 119
Fuck that.
the day that I left.
I'm
But
gonna go with Soul Survivor.
they moved us over to Sparks. We were in Sparks,
That
and it was
mushroom
about
rum's really
92,
good.
97 over in Sparks. And then it was a little bit, it was probably in the mid to high 90s up in the Susanville area.
Yeah.
So, but it was hot. I mean, 100,
Yeah.
110, 119 is
Oh yeah. I mean, there's like
just
a
open the oven door and stick your head in there. And
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
it feels like.
Yeah, like-
Put it on.
and and a breeze doesn't even help. Like if you're
Yeah.
in your car and you roll down the window, it's just a hairdryer hitting you in the face. But I
Anything
remember.
over 85, I'm just out.
Well, I remember.
leave me.
I remember living down there and would think, "Oh, thank God, it's only 95 today." And you get so accustomed to it. That,
He's watching it on the balcony.
oh, he's watching it on the balcony.
Oh, very
All right. So you probably can't show that. It's going to be impossible. But
Yeah, we're good.
anyway, he texted Dakota a picture of him on the balcony watching the live stream.
Didn't stop us smoking. And then we got Derek, someone I haven't heard from in a long time.
Hey, Derek.
Finally caught y'all
My
live.
fathers, yeah, those are good.
Finally caught y'all live. Happen to be enjoying a My Father LGO.
Like Grant.
My father's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, as long as you've been up here, Grant, do you have any like
Later, RC. He's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Later, RC. Appreciate you stopping in, man.
Thank you. As long as you've been up here, if you had any like uniquely Alaskan experiences, I know you're specifically trying to be vague about your job. I can tell.
I mean, what can I say? Living in Alaska, I mean, unique experiences. You know, you go outside to check the pH balance in your hot tub and you're not paying attention. You look up and there's a moose about 25 feet away sitting in the grass, you know, sleeping, and you do a double take out of the corner of your eye. And you're like, okay, there's a moose in my backyard.
Yeah.
He's just waiting for you to get the hot tub ready.
You know, you go out to check your mail and you come back in and you're reading the mail, and as you're walking in, you just get some movement and you realize, you know, it's 6 o'clock at night or whatever in the winter. There's a moose, you know,
Yeah.
2 houses down
Yeah.
eating your shrubs or eating the neighbor's shrubs. But plenty of experiences like that. Usually they're spontaneous like that. You know, you look out the window when you're driving and there's the belugas, or there's a bear next to your car when you drive by, or there's a moose in your backyard.
Oh, you get to see the windsurfers out there on the
Windsor
farm
Yeah.
all the time, which a lot of people don't realize that there's a ton of windsurfing out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yesterday when I was driving by, one guy had a GoPro. I wanted to stop and just be like, "Hey, you got a YouTube? I want to see what it
I want
actually
to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I remember
But,
one time I was in my kitchen, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw something go by the window, and I literally thought in my head, I go, oh, I think my neighbor just bought a Tahoe. It was just a moose. It was just a moose. I was like, oh my God.
Now, one thing that most people I know haven't experienced up here that I have was a lynx running that far away.
Oh,
from me.
really?
Yeah, he just crossed right in front of my legs.
Huh.
So, have you seen a lynx before, Dakota? Down in Kodiak, or?
I've only seen him in a cage.
I've not seen a lynx wild, but I've seen coyotes wild.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Seen
that's
them in
another
shops.
one you don't see wild up here.
No, not very often.
Are you
No.
serious?
Coyotes,
I don't
yeah.
think they're up
They're,
here.
they're, they're out here.
Are they?
They're
Oh,
over
they're
on
out here.
they're over on Government Hill.
Oh, no shit.
It's just rare that
How
I've
many-
seen one.
Yeah.
Probably
So
twice in the last 5 years.
So when I lived in Phoenix, I lived like near a golf course, and I saw 'em constantly.
I mean, I had a odd childhood, and we
figured.
so
Nobody wears sideburns like that without having an odd childhood.
I'm scarred. It covers up the scars, you know. No, we would shoot them because they're an invasive species. So anytime we saw
Yeah.
one, and it for sure was not a fox, we got a ranch rifle out and we just blow its head off.
Well, most people don't know that that's an animal that's up here. Kind of like
Yeah.
deer. A lot of people didn't know about deers up here
yeah.
because you got
Except the
moose and caribou.
Well, you never hear out of them. Like even when I moved up here, and my buddy was like, "Hey, we go deer hunting every year. You want to go?" I'm like,
Where?
"I don't want to go back down lower 48." He goes, "No, we go to Kodiak." It's like, "Oh, fuck yeah, man! Deer hunting in Kodiak."
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was up in Willow area.
Coyotes in Willow.
Yeah, they would in winter run across the frozen lake and
Yeah.
like try and get underneath your house and nest and stuff. So you would, if you saw them out there, you'd just be like,
Well, it's not like you really recognize the howl that they have versus the wolf.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You
Or-
typically would think you're hearing a wolf out there.
I mean, they
or
would,
even well, and even too, like even if you saw them at a distance, you wouldn't be like, I mean, it could be a sled dog. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You don't think of,
Mhm.
oh, coyote. I certainly wouldn't be my first. I don't even know they were up here until right now.
Yeah, Portage Valley. There's quite a few down at Portage Valley.
Oh, shit.
I've seen them along the highway there at 78, 9 mile, running. You know, just along the side of the road. You look out the window and you're like, oh, there's a coyote.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Fox. Seen fox before.
Plenty of fox, yeah. Well,
Talkeetna, plenty of fox in Talkeetna.
Mm-hmm.
oh, you mean the animal? Okay,
Yes.
He's not talking about pulling tail out in Talkeetna.
he might be. I don't know. Grant's a man of leisure.
Yeah, but
I'm
why is he
referring to
driving
before-
from Girdwood too?
I'm referring to the four-legged red furry kind. Like what was it? Who was the fox in the Disney movie?
In the
Robin Hood. No.
That's all I can
No,
think
the
of.
animated one.
That's all I can think of is the
Robin
Robin Hood one. Yeah, the Robin Hood was a fox, but no. Are you talking about in Bambi?
Yes.
Oh,
Todd, right?
I have
Was
no
it
idea.
Todd the Fox?
I'm gonna admit this.
Yep.
Todd
I've
sounds
never
familiar.
seen Bambi.
Okay.
I just remember the parts that are the worst. Like the father getting shot.
I've just seen clips. Don't ruin it for me. Spoiler alert from a 50-year-old movie.
First 5 seconds of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler.
So how's the cigar progressing, man?
Pretty tasty so far. Not bitter or oily, but it's got like a weird coating.
And that's not an inexpensive cigar.
No, God, what did I see? For our prices, much higher than our normal.
Yeah, of course.
21, I think, is what this was.
21 online.
What it was
41.
upstairs.
No, it was
upstairs. 41 upstairs. It's 41
Okay,
upstairs.
sorry.
Which means it's probably 26, 27
Yeah.
online, I'm guessing, something
Yeah,
like that.
roughly somewhere around there.
Which is
Considering
still
our
expensive
taxes.
for a fucking.
Yeah, I mean, that's an expensive
It's
stick.
I mean,
How much is a Lusitania?
what am I getting? So a little bit of the good spice out of there. Not like yours.
I got a good update coming.
Good. Let's see. It's a little nuttiness almost in there too. Like, so that's where I'm getting a little bit of the coating in there. It's not like like you chewed up a bunch of peanuts. It'd be like that. How your mouth would feel like that almost.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that's really expensive. It must be the same cost of a Lusitania, but no, it's not.
Okay, well, enlighten us. What's a
What's the
Lusitania?
Lusitania cost?
It's the only reason why I know they exist is it's Michael Jordan's favorite cigar,
Okay.
and they're $45 to $70 a stick depending on the size,
Okay.
and it's $1,700 to $2,700 a box.
Okay. Well, it is Michael Jordan's favorite.
Yeah, that's gonna have a little impact.
Yeah,
What does a athlete who loves cigars, who's worth $750 million, smoke?
Only 150.
what's the dude from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Larry David?
Okay, so he's worth a quarter of Larry David,
No,
which is
Larry-
fucking hilarious.
No, Larry David's worth less than Jerry Seinfeld, and Jerry Seinfeld is worth less than $2 billion.
Never mind that. Thank you for aligning my. I can't imagine making that much money. What would you?
Well,
What would you do?
Probably what I'm doing right now, except for a more exuberant.
I'd die of a coke habit.
You have an extensive gun collection.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have a huge gun collection.
There
I'd have
would
a
be
hangar full of cars, and I'd be out hunting somewhere right now. Is what I'd be.
you'd have a chain of knife stores all across the United States.
No, I wouldn't work.
Well, I mean,
I might have a chain of cigar stores because that means more like leisure.
you would work, but it wouldn't be a.
I would work, but I wouldn't care about making money at
It
it.
wouldn't be work.
Yeah, it wouldn't
It'd
be work.
be fun.
You're like, God damn it, I'm changing the oil filter on this fucking Veyron again. That's basically what it would be.
Like, how do I put this back together?
Yeah.
Let's look at the other one.
Yeah. I wonder if I can fit a Lamborghini engine in a slab-side Lincoln.
I just imagine you fuck it all up and then you call your team of mechanics to come in and make it right because you gave up.
Can't make it right.
Oh, we got Julia Perez coming in here. She's saying she's drinking whiskey but don't have any cigars.
No, it's
Well,
Julio.
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 Sorry.
Perez.
Put those glasses back on.
Yeah, they're right. I was gonna say, I just saw your glasses. Okay, all right.
I bought some cigars from you guys a while back and brought them home. The first one I lit up. My wife squashed it and told me to go outside with it.
All right, well, go outside. I mean, that's understandable.
I mean, they don't smell great secondhand. I'll be honest. I'll come and get more. All right, man.
Yeah, the as you were
Julio,
saying
Julia.
that wife squashed it. I'm thinking like she took it out of your mouth and just.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it going straight into your slice of birthday cake.
You know, I've only smoked a cigar in my car like maybe twice, like windows down, sunroof open, the whole thing. And then even when I got home, it was like leave the sunroof open, but roll up the windows and come out and get in the next morning. And it's like, it's still,
It's there
still.
forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
The old,
This is why I enjoy the Jeep because it's an all steel interior. I literally just hose it out and it's
Yeah.
gone.
the old 82 F-150 I had.
Smelled
Open
like
up that
Swisher
triangle
Sweets.
window.
Oh, the triangle window,
Yeah, those are
baby.
gone.
One would bring the air in and the other would pull the ash out.
I miss the triangle. My first Toyota truck had little triangle windows. I miss those.
I miss that. The original doors on the Jeep had those. I wish I'd kept them.
Our 86 Jeep Wagoneer had the triangle windows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We always
Air
used to sit there
conditioning.
as kids. Just,
Yeah.
That's all we did.
Yeah. My the old place I used to live at, the guy across the street had an old Wagoneer with the wood sides. Had to be like early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. And like kind of like I almost want to say resto mod redone to where it looked like it driven off the showroom, perfectly shiny. And he had like all updated lighting and everything. It wasn't like the orange dim headlights. It was like, but even had sidewall, it even had white wall tires back on it. And man, and every time he pulled out, I was like, I can't believe you drive that thing. Like, they're worth a significant amount of money.
You know, we got a
If
little
you went through all
sidetracked.
the work.
Back
to cigars.
Sorry.
The year of the dragon from
I will say
Gurkha.
it's probably a little more stronger. I'm not an experienced cigar smoker like you gentlemen. A
We're
little bit
not
stronger than
experienced.
I'm used to.
Fake it to
You're
make
a
it.
lounge
will
member.
say-
You're way better than
I
average.
come in here once a week. I will say I like when I'm not smoking it and I'm tasting it in my mouth, but I'm smelling yours as it wafts across. I do like the smell on it, or the nose on it, if you will. Aromatic. It's just a little bit stronger than what I normally smoke. So I'm
Swimming.
waiting for it to
Yeah.
that part where you said it changes flavor.
Kind of mellows
down
into
yeah.
another. Yeah.
But not bad. Just I would say just stronger than what I'm used to.
Okay.
Stronger than the last Gurkha I remember having. And I don't remember the Gurkha that I had, but I would
They're-
recognize the label if I
They're
saw
all over the place, you know.
Yeah,
they got
Gurkha runs the gamut. It's like
100 different types of cigars.
yeah, it's like
wide.
who makes the naturals? The
Drew Estate. Yeah.
Drew Estate. It's like Drew Estate. It's like
Bunch of different.
they run the gamut. Everything you can think of.
Which they don't make the naturals anymore.
Yeah, I know.
What about you, Mike? How was the retro hail?
So brutal.
Add those lips. Tell
So
us about it.
actually, that's the thing. Heat's gone. It's smoking very nice. It's turned into quite a nice cigar.
Good.
I am enjoying it.
I know where you got that.
And then retro hailed it twice, and I'm probably gonna be able to smell anything for at least a week. Like, it's pretty bad. Like even did it short, like just a little retro hail, a little bit, get some notes,
Mhm.
and then just blow out the rest, and still like watering eyes.
Worse than the Valkyrie?
Worse than the Valkyrie for sure.
I'm good, man.
Probably one of the worst retro hails I've ever had.
Jesus.
I think the only thing that even comes close is the is it the MOB, the Oliva MOB? Is that right?
Yeah, Mark of the Beast.
Yeah, the Mark of the Beast. That's probably the closest retro hail I've ever had, and that's just because it's just so much at once because it's a massive cigar. But as far as like progressing, like now that I'm into the barrel and past the light up, and I've wetted up the tip here, it's actually pretty decent smoking cigar.
Mhm.
It's robust, peppery. I don't think I even got to reiterate that. Earthy, but not overpowering. It mellowed out, and it's strong without being offensive.
Well, mine, the Firewalker from CAO. I did a couple retro hails on it, and it's just like a fuck ton of cedar, like a weird, almost toffee sweetness in the background, and then like a mesquite smoke.
Mhm.
I don't know. It reminds me of like. I don't think you guys would like it necessarily because I like that Balcones mesquite smoked bourbon.
Mhm.
It reminds me of that.
Mm.
It's got very similar notes to it as far as the smokiness and the sweetness and everything else.
I remember that stuff.
Everyone else fucking hated it and they discontinued it, which is why I own the last 2 bottles in the state. But I like it, and it's definitely a unique experience. I think this would go really good with like Ardbeg or Lafroig, like really well. It's not that smoky, but like it's got those hints in the background with a little bit of fruitiness, a little bit of like
I mean,
toffee.
and Lafroig is just this side of pissing on a campfire.
I mean, that's enjoyable too. You gotta make sure it's cold to the touch before you leave, man.
I mean, leave no trace, right?
Yeah.
No, we talked about it.
Except your signature.
Yeah.
So
Well, I just write it with my.
We got a couple more
Yeah, sorry, we should catch up.
from Julio.
Julio. No. Is it
One more, but
one more up? Yeah, there you go.
She didn't literally squash it. She just basically said,
Oh.
the rule is no more
Squash
smoking
the action.
inside."
She didn't squash
it,
the
she
cigar,
just
she-
kiboshed it.
Yeah, there you go. It's like,
Like that.
Told you what the rules were.
And what are we pairing with tonight with the cigars,
what
gentlemen?
are we pairing with?
My usual.
Chad's usual.
I have an Angel's Envy in my glass,
Oh, yeah?
which I might get some more here shortly.
I think Dakota has the Soul Survivor, the backbone Soul Survivor. I have the Old Forester Statesman. And then you brought in some rum.
Mushroom
Yes,
rum.
Yes. This is,
Mushroom rum,
fancy
huh?
rum.
It's really good. You'll like it a lot.
And
Cool.
yeah,
I would highly recommend trying some of that this evening. I believe this is Dominican,
Oh, that smells delightful.
and this
I'm gonna spill some
comes. I learned this at the tasting I was at.
Thank you, a little bit.
Much like wines in France have certain terroirs, if I'm saying that correctly. My French is not amazing. When you get into really high end rum,
amazing. Come on now.
they do have something similar to that where
Yeah.
it comes from here. It's got to be made a certain way. It's got to come from this
Yeah.
terrain. So I went to a rum tasting and they learned all this stuff about rum. And this was, as a kid that grew up drinking Bacardi, this is night and day versus Bacardi and Myers and stuff like that.
I mean, Bacardi's just filled with bats and bananas. So yeah. That's why I have a bat in their logo. It
Bats
can,
and bananas.
It's got real bits of bat.
it does. The fermentation vats are completely, or at least traditionally, have been completely open to the environment. So all the fruit bats will come down and eat the mash, and then get stuck in the mash, and then they get mashed up and put in the still.
And then
And that's why they have bats on their thing, is because their entire production facility
Okay.
used to be
Well, I
infested
just
with
learned
bats.
two things today. That and the way you described smoking your cigar. Well, we got past the part where you let it up and get into the barrel.
It's
And
like-
I'm like,
it's
oh,
like-
wow, it's called the barrel. Okay, I thought it was called the whole thing was a cigar, but it was parts.
Oh, there's
The head, the foot, the heel.
well, there's foot, barrel, and I mean, then there's 20 names for the tip. I mean, the tip just makes it sound vaguely sexual.
By the way, we have a cigar upstairs called Just the Tip.
Yeah.
I
They
really,
do. They do. I saw it.
I was about to try it, and then I'm like, no.
Oh shoot, I forget the name of the company, but Caldwell, I believe, is a parent company that makes it. Or whomever makes Caldwell, maybe there's somebody else that makes them too.
You know, there is the cigar called the chicken leg, right? So we've had several of them
Mhm.
on camera. This should be the spicy chicken leg.
Spicy chickens.
The spicy wang.
Spicy wang.
Spicy wang. I know where you got that cigar, though. It was from Kevin or it was from Chris. Because it's both Kevin's and Chris's, like, once in a while guilty pleasure cigar.
I
Because it
almost
blows
wanna
their
say-
nostrils out, and then they're like, it turns into like the best cigar you've ever had.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, that's because you can't taste anything.
Shit, I almost want to say it was Chris,
Probably. He hands them out like hotcakes.
because I think he brought me a cheeseburger and a cigar one night. Well, he's brought me a cheeseburger more than once.
Every time he shows up,
Thanks
I'm
for
just
the
like, did you
cheeseburgers."
bring one for the class?
Well, because he would show up and he'd show up with a bag of cheeseburgers, and every time he'd bust one out, I was like, damn, I could really use a cheeseburger. And then I mentioned it to him one night. I was like, dude, call ahead. Like, I'll give you money. Like, pick me up a cheeseburger. And so then, like, as a joke, the next 3 times he showed up, he's like, here's your fucking cheeseburger.
You know what the funny thing is?
Hmm.
It wasn't just the next 3 nights. It's some of the nights that you weren't there.
You've been
Cheeseburgers.
eating my cheeseburgers?
Well, speaking of cheeseburgers, in California, In-N-Out Burger
Oh, yeah.
ate that at least twice a week for the 4 weeks that I was down there.
Yeah.
How'd you
Learned
get
there's
it?
one called the Dutchman now, and so the Dutchman, there's all these In-N-Out burgers that aren't on
The hidden menu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got your animal style, which
Yeah,
is your
for
extra
sure.
sauce and stuff. The protein one is instead of a bun, they give you burger wrapped in lettuce, which
Yeah.
everyone knows about.
Yeah.
The Dutchman is they do it with an onion. So they slice an onion.
Yeah.
And that's your bun.
Yeah.
And then they grill that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how do you eat this? And they're like, well, with a knife and a fork, of course. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I heard about that from a friend of mine. It's like, you got to try the Dutchman. And
That sounds delicious.
Never,
Grilled
never heard of it.
caramelized onion bun.
Yeah.
sounds-
No bun.
No bun. So that
Well,
takes
no,
the
I
place
mean,
of-
grilled- grilled
you can get it
caramelized.
if you want to.
Animal style will give you the slice of onion with a bun. I
Yeah.
think. Is that right?
No, animal style is like the
Is that the
sauce they have on there.
Oh,
that
okay.
They mix up, and that's
Yeah.
that's not on the menu. So you
Yeah.
can say a cheeseburger, but can I get a cheeseburger animal style? And they're like,
Yeah.
maybe cheeseburger with their super secret animal style sauce.
Yeah.
Which is just every sauce mixed together in different proportions.
And then if you get the protein, that's lettuce instead of a bun. And then there's your Dutchman, and there's other stuff I don't know
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. But
There is one where they'll slice the onion but not separate the rings. So they'll slice it, they'll grill it, and they'll put that on there with the bun. I can't remember what it's called. But when I lived in Phoenix before In-N-Out came to Phoenix, I used to have to go to Vegas for the day for work. And so I would land in the morning, and the first thing I would do is I get in the cab, and he's like, "Where do you want to go?" And I'd have to buy a cab for the day because I had to go all over the city before Uber. He's like, "Where do you want to go?" I go, "First stop is In-N-Out." And so we go to In-N-Out, and then I go all about my business, driving all around town, doing all the thing. And then before we go to the airport, where do you want to go? Well, let's go back to In-N-Out. It's like back to In-N-Out, and then go to the airport and go back home. I lived, in fact, the first In-N-Out they opened in Scottsdale, Arizona.
that was the first one outside California.
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
Because In-N-Out used to be a California only.
California
thing. They
only.
didn't franchise at all. And
Mhm.
then the first one they opened up was in maybe Havasu, but it was Arizona for sure.
Yeah, I know it was North Scottsdale, and it was not even a block from where I lived. But I didn't go there for like the first 6 months because the police were out there directing traffic because the line was like 2.5 hours long. It was crazy.
Listening In-N-Out, I would love to see In-N-Out in Alaska. I mean, it'd be like Coca-Cola in Moscow in '86.
The problem is no store can be more than 4 hours from a production hub.
Okay.
And
I was production
that's
hub up
why.
here, too.
So as they make production hub, and the owner was she the first female American billionaire? Is that right?
I don't know, but we went through so that whatever highway goes from Reading over to Sparks,
Mhm.
Reno. As you go up the hill out of Reading, she grew up in that town.
Oh, really?
At some point, and I went Shingletown, I think. But Wikipedia page, and then the owner
Yeah.
of In-N-Out now she's the owner, but she grew up there as a little girl. It's
Yeah.
some neat In-N-Out history.
I know there's only one In-N-Out location that's ever been closed, and it was the one in Oakland. And it wasn't closed for revenue; it was closed for vandalism and crime.
Oh man.
It's like it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Tim Hortons finally got back to me
Oh yeah.
about opening up one here in town.
Yeah, you're gonna be a Tim Hortons franchisee.
They
The
require.
Canadians love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know the spot. It is the only real trucker fuel station in town, and it's an open lot. So you could have they allow you to do like a Connex building. So you could have like a prefab Connex with just a drive-up window, and that would be completely acceptable for their rules and stuff
For Tim Hortons.
for Tim Hortons. So it would work. It could be drive-through only, and that's fine. They don't care. The issue is that you have to have $350,000 in liquid assets,
Cheaper than McDonald's.
and it can't be a loan. It has to be free and clear in an
Yeah, of course.
account.
Yeah.
And then you
Feel funny.
Yeah,
also
Canadians would still pitch in for that in Canada. So when they're here in the States,
Yeah.
they'd be like, "Oh my gosh."
you also to buy in and get everything set up and get from them is about $500,000 in cash, and you can't take a loan.
Still cheaper than McDonald's.
You have to be independently wealthy already to do it.
I'm sure you have plenty of backers in Alaska that have that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't think they would accept that. It has to be something free and clear that you've had for years. Like they gave me the checks and stuff, and it's like to do this, we're gonna need like almost 10 years of bank statements.
I mean, you need $1 million just for even McDonald's to consider you.
You know how you start this? You ship up a bunch of Tim Hortons donuts. I feel like they did with the.
Just sell them out the back of your truck.
Tim Hortons isn't that great. It's better
So
than
you're not
all
going
of
to
the
get a loan
other.
that way.
You know how many cheese curds you gotta sell to get $1 million in liquid assets?
I was just I thought it would be like almost like some of the other franchises like Hardee's or Burger King or like whatever where they work with you for the loan and they have a stake in the restaurant until the loan's paid off.
I would think if it were that easy, it would already be here.
So I mean that's how the Krispy Kreme guys did that. Got started up here. They would ship up a bunch of donuts
And sell them and pocket the money and then fucking save it up to open up a franchise.
But the donuts aren't that great. I was just like, they finally got back to me and they're like, if you really want to do this, you're going to need $1 million in cash. And it cannot be, you can't have any loans or anything that could consume it. It has to be free and clear and not earmarked for anything.
And I tried to get a wholesale dealer license for cars in Arizona. And it was something like that. It was like $1.5 million in liquid assets just to apply.
Yeah, which is, I get it. But at the same time, like, we're never going to have a Tim Hortons up here.
Well, you should.
Oh, no, there's plenty of people who got that kind of money waiting around.
Yeah.
And to have the only one, shit, you make your money back in a week.
You'd be the only one for like a year, and then someone else would open one.
Hey, man.
Just be the find yourself a rich celebrity that really likes Tim Hortons. Have them
Because all those celebrities kicking around in Alaska.
Didn't I hear that there was a Schwarzenegger sighting here in Alaska or something? And
Was there?
Cigar,
All the time. All the time.
So,
Well, I know he goes to Alaska. Yeah.
yeah, you probably told me.
Yeah, I know he goes to Alaska.
Yeah.
Gary told me about that.
Gary,
Yeah,
yeah. I was
Gary.
here for
Yeah.
I think it'd be like we'd have to start a media campaign to get Jack Black to fund it.
What, is he that into Tim Hortons?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In Alaska, for sure.
But
Well, you're good at emailing, so go get on it.
I was gonna say, does he give a rat's ass about Alaska?
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
Just get Ryan Reynolds on it. He's a Canadian.
We want you to connect us more here in Alaska, you know?
We love our Canadian friends next door.
Well,
So he made that one movie with Sandra Bullock, and it was about falling in love with his boss. He's the executive
I've
assistant
seen
to
that.
her.
I forgot what that was
It's
about.
supposed to take place in Sitka, and obviously it's filmed in Cape Cod or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was watching with someone in Oregon, and they're like, "Well, does Alaska look like that?" I'm like, no, this isn't filmed in Alaska. That's
Yeah.
definitely not Sitka at all.
Didn't they
Way
do
too much
a-
infrastructure.
They do a bunch of green screen mountains in the background
Probably.
too.
Probably.
Oh,
I'd be surprised.
I remember there was a movie with who's the Mia Jovovich was in it, and it was about like a haunting that supposedly took place in Fairbanks. And and like what they do is they split screen it and they show like they did it was all fake, but it was like here's the actual footage and then here's the movie we filmed and they'll show it on screen at the same time.
I remember that.
And it was fake as shit. But I remember looking at it and I was like, man, Fairbanks is beautiful. No, it ain't.
The most beautiful
remember-
thing in Fairbanks is the university up on the hill. It looks like a mad scientist, evil laboratory.
I remember mentioning it to somebody up here, and I was like, "Yeah, like all the trees. Like, there's a fucking trees in Fairbanks. Like,
There's tons of
you
trees.
just- well, not like these.
Not like that.
Yeah,
no.
there's not 80-foot conifers in fucking Fairbanks.
No.
There's a tree by the airport.
The most beautiful thing in Fairbanks would be Mila Jovovich.
Yeah. The most beautiful thing in Fairbanks is the plane leaving it.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Squarebanks.
Oh no, wait, it was Nome, not Fairbanks. It was Nome.
No,
So Nome does have a national forest.
Yeah.
It occurs every year during that Iditarod, and they take all their Christmas trees that are left over and they stick them out at the end of off on the flow ice, basically. And then there's a little mini putt-putt golf course they have out there as well.
Nice.
And you'll see these guys going out with their clubs to the national forest, which is 30 or 40 Christmas trees that have all lost their leaves at this point. And there's a big sign out there. I might have a photo or two of it on my phone. But there is a national forest in Nome once a year, every year,
Yeah.
and a golf course.
During the Iditarod,
I actually really
the
enjoy
dogs
that.
are crossing the finish line. You just say 4.
I went up there for my very first time this past winter for the Iditarod. It was amazing, but learned about the national forest and the golf course.
The impromptu national forest.
You walk out there in bunny boots and all your snow gear, and you get your
I mean,
That's
Nome is, as far as small towns in Alaska go, it's an actual town. Like it's a town. Like
Wyatt Earp lived there.
but no, it's not bad. Like it's even in summer and spring and stuff. It's not
gorgeous and stuff.
bad. It's very pretty.
We got a comment here. We should.
Texas tourists.
Hey,
Oh,
Texas
shit,
tourists.
Texas
Yes, you can
tourists.
ask your question, whatever sick fucking question it is. Go for it.
You don't know.
I do know.
Do not.
It's gonna be
know.
like, would you rather fuck Sasquatch or Ryan Reynolds? Something like that.
Ryan Reynolds, of course.
Ryan Reynolds,
Obviously.
of course, hands down.
I don't know.
What's wrong with y'all?
Hey, that's Blake Lively's sloppy seconds right there. I'll take it.
Oh my God.
By the way, I was not prepped for any of this when I came on the show today.
He didn't even know he was gonna be here till last
Shaking
night.
back like this. I don't know what's coming next.
It's pretty typical.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like hanging out, but it's streamed
See,
and
this is why we don't have a plan because the plans never work. It just ends up being this.
Yeah, the old trying to get the whole hour and a half footage of one
Yeah.
cigar. That's why we did this.
We used to have a schedule like here we should talk about this, we should bring up this. And it was all suggestions from people, and they're like, oh well, we need to know this and this. So we like had a whole schedule, and it's like it never fucking works.
Just freestyle.
Yeah, it's freestyle. It's funner this
We'll,
way.
we'll
anyway.
try to remember the second half and third of this.
it became
Yeah.
too much work to the point where like this
And
isn't
then
fun.
they stopped being fun.
Yeah.
So we got to make it fun. So we're gonna be a little less serious, but we'll still talk about the cigars and
We tried to,
we try to.
but at least this way, it's like It's fun. We'll talk about cigars if the conversation leads that way. But other than that, it's more about hanging out.
It's more about a
having a good
free-form
time.
interview and just not even an interview, just hang out.
Well, I mean, just watching it's more fun if it's more fun for us.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while I have such a good time. I go home and I'm like, I'm gonna rewatch part of that.
honey, you gotta see this part.
Oh no, I never do that. No.
So this is the part where we all agree Ryan Reynolds over Sasquatch. That's what you guys- yeah.
Wait, I'm the dissenter.
It's at a minute.
I'm the minority report.
He likes hairy balls.
I'm just looking for a
44
virgin.
minutes into the script. You gotta go to that mark.
So, where is the? It's fine if you say it because they probably don't have internet and can't, yell at you or us. What's the worst town you've flown into in this state? Or because I'm going to tell you right now, it's Bethel. It's always Bethel. Because when I fly into Bethel, I'm going to Chignik Lagoon. I'm going to be flying out to some podunk place that's connected to Chignik Lagoon, which is like Chignik West or East or some.
Every time I
fucking
fly
weird-
out of Bethel, I'm like, I can't wait to fly out of Bethel.
Yeah, every time I fly in there, it's like I'm going to go get stuck in a village of 30 people who all fucking hate me because I can't fix whatever it is that's broken because they didn't send me with the proper equipment, even though I asked for it. And then I'm just going to sit there with my thumb up my ass trying not to get killed by the locals till I fly out again.
I've only flown to Bethel one time, and I can say that I've been to other places, quite a few places in Alaska, where I was like, wow, talk about edge of the earth, Sandpoint, in the middle of spring or winter. And I was like, there's no trees over here. There's nothing. Like
Why do people live
it's
here?
windy.
Yeah.
There's a place in Prince of Wales Island on the north end, and I forget the name of the town. I think it's Knockety. But, you drive the end of the road, and it's gravel, and then, like, you're in the town of Knockety, and you're like,
There's a town
how
here.
do people live out here? Like, it's end of the road. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
connected. It's an hour and a half away on 40 miles of, paved road. And then it goes to gravel, or was at the time. But I've definitely gone to some places that were just middle of nowhere BFE.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow. So Bethel, the one time I flew into Bethel, which was winter. I mean, I guess they have 2 pizza restaurants there. So that's good. I mean,
It's better.
it's already one up some of the places I've been to in Alaska.
It's great in summer. Sorry, it's great in winter. In summer, it's nothing but mud and like organic refuse underneath the slats of the.
Yeah, it's tundra basically. Right?
It's great. Yeah.
You know, when I had to drive, so in June, May, June, I drove down the Alcan to lower 48. My buddy had moved and like had a bunch of shit he had to move. And so it was like, it'll take me 12 days to drive by myself or whatever it was. But if you drive with me and we do shifts, we can get down there. Anyway, but since there were wildfires, we got rerouted. It was like 600 kilometers out of the way.
Was this last year?
No, this was just a couple of months ago. And we stayed in this town that literally had no cell service. No cell service. Like in 2024 had no cell service. And so we had this long conversation about, I mean, do you bother owning a cell phone at that point? Like, I mean, there was Wi-Fi, there was internet, but there was no cell service. So it's like, I mean,
it's an entertainment
do
device.
you think they still? I know, but it's like, do you bother? I mean, do you even get roped into that culture? Like, I mean, I have a cell phone because
I could see having a tablet.
I've had a cell phone for 26 years or some shit like that. Like since 1996, I think was my first cell phone. I've had one ever since. Like, so it's like it's hard to imagine my life without it. But if you've never had cell service, like, do you even bother? I mean, do you buy a Wi-Fi device? I mean, you might as well just buy an iPod Touch at that point. I mean, is it really a phone?
I'm going to say yes, they do. Did you ask?
I didn't, because I didn't think about it till the next morning. And as we were leaving, I was like, not these people own fucking cell phones.
So what town is this, by the way? So I need to wiki this now.
I cannot remember the name. I could probably go through the map in BC.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in.
BC, man.
Yeah, it was in
Not
BC.
Yukon, but
Well, and the problem was like, so even the Yukon was easier, but because we were rerouted when we were going through BC, is we had to go into the fucking sticks of BC. And so we went into just a town that would know, but there's people there. Like the next morning, there was like one cafe, and like go down there, and it's like
Fantastic food.
no, well, we didn't eat. I mean, I bought a Rockstar and got the fuck out. But there was 35 boomers down there having eggs Benedict, sitting outside, beautiful weather. I mean, it was. I mean, the place was beautiful. It was really cool, but Yeah, but like not a. I mean, like SOS on the phone. Like, but the hotel had Wi-Fi.
You know, this sounds like a place I want to visit.
Well,
The cell phones sounds great.
yeah, you know
Forcing
what?
you to talk to your fellow man, fellow woman, no distractions, no, no reason to Instagram and do duck lips. You know,
I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying it was weird.
Yeah.
It's
Got to be throwing you off. on your game at that point,
it's oddly isolating in a way I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Even though I had Wi-Fi, it was still weird.
It's not like you forgot your phone.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you pick it up and it's like SOS. And you're like, I don't know what that means. Like, that means I'm hunting in Kodiak and I got to hit the bitch button because I've been bitten or I've fallen down or.
Have either of you or any of you guys seen the show From?
Mm-mm.
So basically, they go through this void where they drive to this town that you can't get out of, but no cell service. So it'd be kind of like that, driving to this town that has basically no electricity, no cell service. No
Wait,
nothing.
Two things. That's probably a black site for the U.S. government. And then second thing is
In
that
the rural BC?
that's the best place to have it.
Not in America.
I mean, I'm not saying that the Canadians can
Okay,
roll
trust
over
me.
and do what we want.
There
but-
weren't any military people there. Like, I mean, I could have pissed halfway across the town. Like a good bounce on a golf ball would have went all the way across this whole place. But
There's a kid with the straw coming out of his mouth.
hold on, wait. I got to bring something up while it's relevant and while we still have time. I'm concerned with how long Texas is taking to type this
he's
question.
researching. He's researching. I already thought of that. I'm like,
We already
It's gonna be a whole. It's gonna be a whole paragraph.
we already answered the question. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
And then as far as cell phones are concerned,
Mike likes
that's why I go fishing. As we get out on the boat, we leave Seward,
Yeah,
and then I wait for it to go beep, 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 done.
yeah,
And then we've got the emergency, you hit the button
yeah.
GPS thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll
Actually,
come
a lot
save
of
you.
cell phone service in Prince William Sound now through copper wireless.
Yeah.
You'd be out in the middle of Prince William Sound and like
Yeah.
2 bars. I'm like, well, that wasn't like that 14
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
because
I mean-
there's they get the roaming agreements for AT&T and T-Mobile and Sprint and all them.
Well, even now, the iPhone 14 has the SOS bitch button built in.
Yep.
And the 15s, it's the new. So the 15s, 14s, and 15s are capable, but the new iOS will have satellite texting.
Mhm.
It's just supposed to come out with, but I don't know.
That's cool.
if you're that's if you're an
I
Apple
wonder if I pay
bitch.
for that.
I'm gonna say, the future is fucking now. We're using internet from space, man.
Well, we live in the future. It's just not equally distributed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So before we reach the top of the hour here, Chad, how's the most expensive cigar at the table progressing?
Retro Hails aren't the best.
This is when you go through like Raiders of the Lost Ark and your face just melts and you fall to the floor.
Retro Hails aren't the best. I still get some of that nuttiness in there. A little bit of spice with it still. Very minimal.
I hate to say it.
Nothing crazy.
You're getting nuts in your mouth?
A little bit.
Okay.
Not hairy ones like Mike's. but
I knew it.
Mike's
I
favorite.
knew we were going to devolve into this kind of discussion. We do every time. It usually happens around the fucking 35-minute mark or something like that. We usually get to it a lot sooner.
What cigar
Question from
or
Colorado.
advice would you recommend for someone who is a complete novice to
Oh,
cigars?
good question.
That is a good question.
First, I would say grab one of 3 of not Corona, the Connecticut, Maduro, and a Habano or Sumatra. Natural, something.
I would say keep it the same maker so you can kind of gauge it really
Yeah.
well. Like, you know what I like is the what's that
Bahia would be a good one to go with.
what's that really light Man of War? Is that the Valkyrie?
Ooh, so we
No.
got Virtue.
The Virtue. It's the Virtue. The
so-
really light Man of War, and because Man of War is a high quality cigar, but they're not known for making light. I like the Virtue.
So don't start off with Manhuorto. I would say there
No,
are
the
very high
Virtue.
nicotine content.
Well,
and for somebody new, not
Okay.
you're going to get a very big head rush, which is a great cigar. I mean, I'm not going to downplay the Man of War cigar. Fantastic.
Get a nub. How about a nub Cameroon? That's light and short.
Mhm.
So it's a 45-minute smoke.
Yeah.
Nub Cameroon. I mean, and it's still a significant cigar. You know, it's still you're still getting the cigar experience, but you're starting half stick. You know what I mean? It's this long.
Mm-hmm.
You're
And
getting
when
a short
you get through one cigar you don't like, even if it's the first one, don't discount it for the other two because they're going to taste very differently.
Ooh, and if you like something, save the band.
Save the band.
Save the band. So when you go into your local place, it's like, these are the ones I like. And then anybody worth their salt will be able to go, like, oh, okay.
And I never save the bands only because I have my humidor right there at work every day. So
It's the same reason
know which one to pick out. I can never remember the names of the ones I like.
It's
until
the
I
same
see
reason
that
you
band.
don't have a full humidor at home because you have a full humidor
No.
here.
I mean, I never will remember the name of the one I like.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I see that band and I'll be like, I remember that was a good
Yeah.
one.
Chad's a visual learner.
I am actually.
How's the cigar progressing for you there?
It's mellowed out quite a bit.
Do you retrohale?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh,
I won't even pretend to know what that is.
So
I have
you-
an idea.
so
I think
You
like
pull
that
the smoke once it's low. You blow through it. You pull the smoke into your mouth
blow through it.
to cool it down,
Exhale through your nose.
and then you pull it into your mouth and you push it up through your nose.
it gets pretty spicy sometimes.
Go softer than you
There
think
it
you
is.
should. Yeah.
That's a retrohale.
That's a retro ale. But what it does is it changes the flavor profile for the cigar because you're activating other parts
Okay.
of your palate.
That's
Usually-
the first time I've ever done that. I
Gotta
did
sneeze.
a mini. That wasn't that was just an unusual
Yeah.
feeling. But
Yeah.
It's a little hot.
that was a mini one for me. But I would say on exhale it smelled and or tasted different.
And another tip for new cigar smokers: don't retrohale on your first cigar. Either.
Oh yeah, don't do
It's
that.
It's kind of a building up to type thing.
It's a practiced thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
As you see, Mikey's done plenty of retrohales, and this cigar is kicking him in the butt. So
I literally am like getting watery eyes.
yeah,
And I've done 4 retro hills with this, and I've probably done
Why?
thousands over my life because I want to see how it's progressing.
I mean, I almost retrohale almost every single puff, but only
Only
little bits of a retrohale, not a full.
Oh,
go
yeah.
through and push it all the way out. You kind of build it up little by little.
You know what I always start with it.
I don't know why.
Apparently, it's just
Yeah,
me and
so
you.
you can just ask.
All right.
her.
So
She
I
can
always,
help you.
so even with a retro hail, I always start slow and go a little bit,
Yeah.
and then when I've had enough, I stop and
Mhm.
just exhale the rest of it.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I retro hail the entire fucking drag, puff, whatever you want to call it.
Thanks, sir.
Sometimes I do the full retro hill if it seems like a mellow cigar, and then sometimes like they'll claim like white pepper and I don't taste it, and then like the Valkyrie we retro hill it and we're both like head on fucking table just crying.
Mhm.
Yeah, this
Um,
one's
I actually will put that in there now that you said white pepper. That's a little bit more of the type of spice I'm getting.
And what are you getting besides just
no.
cock and ball
this
culture?
this has turned into a very good cigar.
Okay.
This has turned into a great cigar. It basically at the beginning it weeds out all the non-hackers. So it's like you're gonna tough your way through this for 15 minutes at least.
If you would have read that, you probably would be fully understanding
Yeah.
beforehand.
But now, I mean, even when this ends, I'm not putting this out. I'm gonna finish this cigar. I actually enjoy this cigar.
It did say even for experienced smokers, run the other direction.
You did the cigar challenge.
It's like one of those one chip challenge chips and chips is like,
Which I believe you have up here.
Yeah,
Would you care to try that right now while you're?
oh no, it's empty.
Pair it with the one chip. Oh man, that would be terrible.
That is horrible. For me, like the Firewalker from CAO, it's just gotten more mellow over time. Any kind of heat or peppers kind of died off. I've retrohaled it numerous times, and it's got like an almost mesquite peaty flavor in the background, which is unusual for cigars. And then just a fuck ton of cedar. It doesn't have like the typical like dark chocolate. It doesn't have the typical.
Even
Like
off the
coffee.
front smoke, I can get the cedar off of that.
It's different. It's very different cigar.
That's interesting.
It's smoky. It's cedary. It's mellow. It doesn't have any real spices or anything to it. It's got like a very complex profile to it that I can't really pick out. But overall, like this is definitely a nice cigar, and it's a limited release. So like after a few months, these won't be available.
This one's not so much limited release. The gold box is the release,
Okay.
which, whoops on my part, I accidentally ordered the wrong one.
Chad, are you ordering cigars drunk? Because first we got a whole bunch of Year of the Dragons.
Really expensive cigars.
Really expensive cigars, which we sold out of. So
Yeah.
kudos to you.
I bought
I can't
another
believe
box,
you bought another box. Oh, of course you did.
but
There's
then
already two gone.
$80 cigars.
Already 2 gone.
out of that box,
Yeah.
There's already 2 gone.
well, I'm not going to complain, but damn,
Jesus,
they're
man.
hard to get.
guess I'll order more.
Can you order any ones that you like that I brought back from California? The one that I gave you that you said you
Oh, yeah, he brought back a Room 101 14th anniversary, which
Oh. I like Room 101.
this was a little bit different. So, like, it was like a Sumatra, or I didn't really look it up, but it had the flavor profile of like a Sumatra or San Andreas wrap, where it's got that heat to it, that pepper.
Yeah.
And it must have had like a Habano binder or something, because it was spicy. But like the flavor profile and like the background sweetness and creaminess to it just like counteracted it. So it was like a whole experience. It was really good.
Are we behind one?
No, we're not.
Coming. Okay. all
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Texas.
I was waiting for
sources.
Texas to put his question up, but like,
Yeah,
I
It's
mean,
late.
we're already 2 minutes over.
Yeah, sorry, Texas. I've been waiting. I've been looking. You might be on a delay more than what.
Wait, hold on. What's the phone number to the lounge? You can just text us the question.
Shit, I don't have it off the top of my head.
And
All right.
we'll cover that next week.
I can look it up.
So we do have
So
a few questions from Instagram. We'll just go through.
Oh, that's right.
What happened to the sound?
Oh,
that's because Dakota muted it.
we
Oh,
had to
She,
we had to
screwed up.
ask questions about what we could talk about and not talk about.
Looks like a good time. Never mind, it's back. Missy guys had a My Father the Judge last night. The motherfucking judge at the Redhead Piano Bar in Chicago. Nice.
At least I recognize that name.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking up the so I was looking up the lounge. I was looking up the lounge phone number. So we can give it to Texas here.
Yeah, and those cigars
Yeah.
were available at the cigar store in Redding, California. I don't know if there's more than one, but it was right downtown Redding, on the east side of the river. I can give you that, and it was near the hotel I stayed in.
It was a
anyway,
legit cigar shop, though.
legit.
There's
beautiful
only
walk-in
so
humidor.
many of those in every town.
It was a legit tobacco shop.
All right. Well, hold on, Texas. If you want to text us, it's 907-917-6959. 907-917-6959. So if you want to text us, we'd be happy to answer your question. Sorry we couldn't do it on camera.
We'll hit it up next month at the next live stream.
We
that
can
have.
answer it on camera next live stream.
It's gonna be something
Why not?
nasty. It's always something
Good.
nasty.
Once a month.
Give
we
us a
pull
Yeah,
back,
time
yeah.
to think about
First
our
Saturday of every
answers.
month we do this.
So before we sign out here, you can talk into this camera or this camera or this camera,
Well, you
and
could do this one, but it's going to be
you can do this one if you want to.
I didn't know there was one
Yeah,
there.
we haven't
Yeah,
about
my best side actually.
like if you wanted to
This,
My
is all,
bad.
this is all real, by the way.
just in the back of your head.
On top of it.
Yeah, sometimes like if you want to show something off, we'll have it there. But yeah, is there anything you want to give a shout out about? Something you're excited about? Some big festival you're going to that you want to kind of like, hey, it's gonna be cool. I know you're huge into all the eclectic bands around the state, and you're always traveling around to all the various different things.
I'm gonna plug Avery Wolves from Fairbanks. I went and saw them last night in Palmer at the Ale House.
Avery
And,
Wolves, huh?
They are
He sent me a video. They're
badass.
good.
Yeah?
So
Yeah.
you've got Leonard Skinnard / Nashville Pussy themed guitarist, right? Trucker hat, long hair, kills it on guitar. You probably saw what I posted on Facebook. You got a little bit of White Stripes and Meg White action on the drummer. She kills it on drums. She plays standing up the entire time.
They're local there?
Fairbanks, yep.
Nice.
They just held their last show, at least officially, of the season. And then the bassist,
has a beard, obviously.
no, he's got sideburns. So
Okay.
he's
Burns or sideburns?
Burns.
Okay, yeah.
He plays stand-up bass.
Mm.
He sounds like Glenn Danzig,
Okay.
Oh,
but he's got a little bit of Billy Joe from Green Day going on when he sings, like his I guess not inflection, but his facial stuff. He's awesome on bass. They've got this rockabilly, punk, cowpunk,
psycho rock and roll.
psychobilly. Brian Setzer Orchestra, you know,
Yeah.
it's not a mashup.
Yeah.
But he's a big Misfits guy, so he did
Nice.
Skulls,
Cool.
a Rockabilly Skulls.
Yeah.
Was their second to last song.
All right.
Phenomenal musicians. They
So-
played at. I prefer them in a smaller venue like Vans. I've seen him play in Vans. I've seen him play at the Carousel for a birthday party. If I ever
Oh.
feel like a baller and I'm gonna rent a band and have them come out and sing for my birthday or something like that, it's gonna be these guys.
There you go.
Oh my God.
Awesome
It's
band.
Avery Wolves, all one word on Instagram.
Yep.
On the cover of Alaskan magazine there. Cool.
They're out of Fairbanks. If you can see them in a place like the Midnight Mine or something, if they play
Oh,
there in
shit.
Fairbanks, it would be awesome.
Like I love playing the guitar, both hands on the neck.
This might have been the night they played at Carousel, I think.
It could have been.
Oh, they're fucking rocking.
They
it.
are.
That
they're
was
outstanding.
Looks
oh
like
no,
it'd be a good
that
time.
was it. That was September.
I'm not saying they're the same band, but that vibe reminds me of fucking Reverend Horton Heat.
They're like the Reverend. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
So
Right on.
follow.
Okay.
Got one from Avenue Cigars.
So Avery Wolves, if you're out there, I bought some more CDs last night. We've chatted before. Great show. Love seeing you guys.
We're gonna
right.
check it out in the break here. Cool.
If you like cigars, come on down. We'll hang out.
And on that high note, we'll see you guys on the first Saturday of next month. Look forward to seeing you, and we won't be such a shit show. That's a joke.
Yeah, we definitely will be.
Yeah, we will be. All right. There we go. Wait, almost there.